One of the challenges we have in Oregon and across the nation is we are investing a huge amount of money doing things that we actually know are not very effective. Second is...
Do you mean in discipline or just in general?
In general, both in discipline and in literacy.
But could I interject for just a moment?
I thought that was pretty good.
It was excellent. But right. Government relations staffers have to say the obvious. So the posters that you saw at Durham are the product of an evidence-based research innovation developed by the University of Oregon, and that's what's disseminated throughout the country, and that is...
It's not just the posters. There's a package that...
That is Rob's work. That is
implementing effective discipline resulted in a 20 to 60% reduction in office discipline referrals, a reduction in bullying, an increase in the extent to which kids perceive the school as a safe environment. So my big message is that you don't get the academic gains unless you also create an effective culture.
Very important.
Can I ask a question about how has the trend been in terms, because I know you hear from people who went to school years ago, oh, well, there are so many more discipline problems now. Is that really the case?
No. Really what the case is our culture has become more diverse and more mobile. And we are less insular in the way in which we do things. So we also are much, much better at keeping track. And we've shifted from simply punishing what we don't like to actually teaching what we do like. And all of those are variables that make things much more accessible. And then as you are probably painfully aware, the media exaggerates what doesn't work much more than they indicate what does work.
But I have to say what gives me hope about this type of funding is that there's a lot of talk about accountability and believe me, people say as recently as yesterday, don't just put money behind something that unless you know it's going to work. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing gives us the ability to say, we need the money because it's going to work, and here's why it's going to work, and here's how it's going to work. But without that piece, it's harder to say, we need to increase education funding, because people will say, well, look, we don't know if it's a wise investment because we don't have the data. So that's what you're doing. And that's why I think this is going to be more bipartisan, that this piece has probably more of a chance than other pieces within, like the ESEA reauthorization, which was very partisan. Mm-hmm. This particular piece, I think, because it's about getting the data to back up the investment, has more promise.